And welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avantes, and as always, I'm joined by my co hosts, Matt at Arms
Live from downtown Dearborn.
and Zeroshio.
Whoa, I wasn't said first. I don't know what to do.
But we have a very, very special guest, Hearthstone streamer, player extraordinaire, Mageadeath. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much, you guys. I am a big fan and so very glad to be here tonight. Thank you for having me.
We are super excited to have you. So we don't have any emails or iTunes reviews, but we have a ton of stuff to talk about tonight. So I'm going to turn this, if you guys haven't noticed, my voice is not all here this week. I'm recovering from being sick the last couple of days. So I'm going to actually turn this over to Zeroshio tonight to kind of lead. So, Zeroshio, take it away.
Well, first off, before we get to the news and all the nitty gritty of what's happened this week, and a lot of news is coming out, which is surprising with BlizzCon right around the corner, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, we want to take a moment to introduce you to Mageadeath and give Mageadeath a moment to tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into Hearthstone? I know you're not only a streamer, but you're also big into the community. I know you follow a lot of different podcasts and are active on Twitter. So please, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I've been playing Hearthstone since before Whispers of the Old Gods. I was not one of the people that got in during beta or anything like this. And in fact, Hearthstone was my first collectible card game. I was big into World of Warcraft before that, and actually really only it's weird. I started to branch out into some of the other Blizzard games, was playing Diablo and Heroes of the Storms, and I actually ended up trying Hearthstone because they were giving a mount away in Heroes of the Storm if you played Hearthstone. So I tried it, and I actually really liked it. Unlike Magic, when I tried playing the actual card version back when I was in high school, it seemed a lot easier to get a handle on. So I just really kind of fell in love with the game and started playing. And after Whispers of the Old Gods came out, I'm like getting, before it came out, I was getting trucked by, Dr. Boom on Dr. 7 on 7 and all that sort of thing. And I wanted to get better at playing. So I started listening to a whole bunch of podcasts and started to try and get better at the game. And ended up starting streaming Hearthstone late right after BlizzCon that year in I think 2014 it would have been. Mm-hmm. Because when I went to BlizzCon and I was telling people, I like Hearthstone. Do you play Hearthstone? They're like, no, I don't really play Hearthstone that much because it's really complicated and I don't get what's going on and I don't know where to start and there's not a lot of great resources on playing. And so I just started playing and was trying to get better at the game, and I was trying to help people that were watching get better at the game as well. And slowly but surely, both of those things seem to have happened. I've had lots of people tell me that they've gotten a new high rank or something because they've been watching the stream, or did better in the arena one night because they've been watching the stream. And slowly but surely, I think December, that very next month, I hit rank 5 for the first time, got up into rank 1 the following June, and then finally hit legend for the first time a year ago, August. So, and I love the game, and despite some of the despite some people not being as excited about the game right now, I still really like the game, and I definitely jumped into kind of the whale status because I spend a lot of money in the game as well. So
that was one of my favorite moments on your stream. The other was like about a month or so ago when you got the KIT. I was like, I need to get Putricide. Give me Putricide. That was actually a ton of fun to watch. So even if it was just opening packs, it's entertaining. So how did you come about? I gotta ask this. How did you come about your battle tag Mageadeath?
Oh, okay. So Mageadeath is actually my World of Warcraft main. It is a gnome mage. And so, a gnome mage has to have a really intimidating name, right? And I'm not good at coming up with really intimidating names, so I come up with pun names. And me and a former guild mate were like, what would be funny is if we took like an 80s hairband name and kind of made it kind of pun like. And so we were going through them all, and I decided on Mageadeath, and then that was pretty easy because he's Mage Death. I've got a monk that's named Quiet Riot Zen. I've got
nice.
Different things. So I've got a few characters, but this is the one I have on Airy Peak. This is my first character on Airy Peak when I moved over there so that I could join the Convert to Raid raiding guild. But yeah, it was just a matter of I wanted to be kind of funny with a name and picked that. I'm not actually a fan of Mageadeath, but to each his own. It's a pretty good band, but
it's real funny. I'm finding this out from a lot of people. My wife and I are also an Airy Peak Convert to Raid. I'm no longer in the guild because I took so much time off, but she's still in Convert to Raid, as well as the 1600 Dust crew are all in Airy Peak. So it's a small world that everybody's kind of plays on the same servers that are in the same type of communities. And you've been in these communities for the last couple of years, and you're very active. I've been a follower of your stream for a while, and you're very dedicated to the game and making it enjoyable for your viewers. You tend to play decks that are your own style instead of just net decking and things like that. Tell us a little bit about your flavor on your stream and what you try to accomplish as a streamer.
Well, I would tell you first off that because I don't have a ton of like card game experience, I don't do a lot of deck building on my own on my main account where I have access to all the cards. So really what I try and focus on doing is I try and pick decks that are in the meta that people want to play, like people watching the stream and that sort of thing, and then try and play them. Whether or not I'm actually going to be good at them is an entirely different story, but I try and play them to give people an idea of potentially how to play them. And so like last month I was trying to learn Token Druid, and it's a deck that obviously that's pretty good in the meta, but it's not necessarily the most kind of straightforward how you play it. And so, I spent a lot of time early in the month on the stream just playing a bunch of games, trying to talk through what I was thinking and about how to play the deck. I watch other people and then trying to read guides and different things like that, and then just through game experience try and play it as best I can. So I do that a lot. Sometimes we'll do some funner things like trying something in Wild, or like I'll play my EU account where it's completely free to play. I've not spent a single penny on any packs on that account. And there you have to be a bit more creative as to building a deck. I probably look at what's strong. Like I just crafted an odd rogue deck, but you can't initially put all the regular odd rogue cards in. So then you try and sub in some cards that you think still might be okay in there as well. So I do that. And then on Friday nights, I typically play the arena. And so that's fun as well. I feel like I've gotten much better at that too since I started doing that every week.
You definitely have, yeah.
Which is that it doesn't seem like it should be that big a difference, but at the same time, there really is a lot of differences between playing constructed ladder and playing the arena, just because of the card quality and what cards you get offered versus what your opponent gets offered. There's a lot more variance in there, and then trying to make trying to do something good with a bad deck, or trying not to go 0-3 with a really good deck is sometimes difficult.
So, what's your favorite deck you've played?
Right now, or just like in my entirety of playing Hearthstone?
Let's go for the gamut. Let's go all the way to Whispers up to now.
Okay. I think I would have a hard. So my first deck, I would say, I really like Murloc Paladin.
Yes.
I like decks that are straightforward, and I like decks that are kind of proactive, and I like. But I will say, it's hard for me not to say Tempo Rogue, because Tempo Rogue was the deck I hit Legend with for the first time. That's and when you have it, when you cross that threshold for the first time, it's really hard not to be like, that's the deck. And I really like that deck. And if you'd have told me when I started playing that Rogue was going to be the class that I hit Legend with for the first time, Rogue and Warlock were like the two classes that I like took the longest to unlock and to get to rank 10, or to level 10 and stuff. And so those two I would not expect that I would have done very good. I also am a big fan of Zoo Warlock too. It just not even necessarily this incarnation of Zoo Warlock, which with all the healing stuff to it. I like kind of the old school Imp Gang boss and the eventually the Darkshire Councilman, nice. All of those cards in there, along with the Dreadlord and then the Doom Guards and that sort of thing. I actually didn't like Doom Guards, so I went with Leroy Jenkins, because I was one of those people that was like, I have to discard 2 cards to play the Doom Guard, even though he has charge this turn. I don't want to. My cards are too precious to be able to throw them away.
You can't take away my toys.
So Leroy Jenkins, I can deal with the 1/1s on the other side of the board, because I'm going to hit him in the face and he's going to die. But
so I take it you're not ready to play Apis Keening Banshee Even Shaman. Yeah.
I've seen that thing, and that thing looks crazy.
That deck is so good. Anyway, yeah, that's. I gotta show respect to an old school Zoo player back when Zoo actually required placement and thought.
Yeah,
as opposed to now
with the Direwolf
Direwolves,
with the Knife Jugglers, with Sea Giants, and
back when we played 2-drops in Hearthstone.
There was a time, and that time will come again very soon. Actually,
yes, 6 months.
We're only about 6 months away. Yeah.
Who knows? They may eventually nerf Keleseth, but I don't know. I doubt that's going to happen. But speaking of kind of balance and that kind of thing, Vicious Syndicate did a article on meta polarization and the impact on Hearthstone. It's a really good read. There are a lot of podcasts going into a lot of detail. We have the show notes linked in here, and we're not going to go over it too much, because you can find this information just about everywhere. But we did want to touch base on the responses from Mike Dene and Ixar in response to this Vicious Syndicate article. Have you had a chance to look over and read this, Mageadeath?
The article was great, and I think anytime you can use the level of data that they have and talk to something as smartly as they did, I think you definitely need to listen. And it's been really interesting seeing the responses, both in the community as a whole, both from like players and podcasters and things like that, but then, like you said, the actual Team 5 members that have come out and spoken about it too. I saw before the show tonight, I did see Ixar's response, and that was on Twitter pretty much the day the article came out, and it was interesting. There was a long thread that he was going back and forth, or going on about it. But I had not seen Mike Dene's until the show notes and seeing that response, and that response was a bit surprising.
there's a reason I took a screenshot of that before the show, just in case that it might have been deleted.
Just in case it gets pulled down?
Yeah.
Or gets edited in some way?
Exactly. It was one of those, but like, actually, more credit to Mike Dene. He's left it up there with all negative 650 some odd downvotes he has now. But honestly, his comment is, in my opinion, kind of right, where it's like, sometimes polarization isn't a bad thing. And the article was phrased in such a way that, polarization's bad, boo, boo, boo. When it's really should have been, polarization's like a good spice. Enough of it makes a dish better. Too much ruins a dish. And I think where we're at right now, and I think a lot of people feel this way, I kind of disagree. I think we're kind of at the right spot. Yeah. Even though I'm kind of bored of this meta at this point. There's a ton of polarization in this meta, but so a lot of people are like, yeah, it's awful, but it's like anything with like food, it's what your own taste, quite honestly.
Personal taste.
I've been playing Magic the Gathering for I don't even want to remember how long, over 20 years of experience. It's a very, very long time I've played Magic the Gathering. I've also played multiple card games, and of course I played Hearthstone for a very long time, rather competitively. I've been in card games for a long time, and one thing that I've noticed is polarizing matchups happen one way or the other. When it's bad is when there's only 3 or 4 good solid decks in the meta and you have polarized matchups, because then it literally feels like paper, rock, scissors, because you're a 33% chance to win against one deck, but you're 66% chance to win against another, and it just doesn't feel good. This community, Hearthstone community specifically, has been asking for more playable decks, a more diverse meta, and this is the most diverse I think we've ever had it. If you go on HS Replay or any of these top deck websites, even disguisetoast.com, you'll find right now you could play 9 to 12 different decks, still be viable on the ladder, and possibly even get legend if you have that skill set. And that's great. That's really healthy for the meta. The problem with that is when you start throwing in more and more viable decks, you're going to get polarizing matchups. It's inevitable. It has to happen. When you have 12 viable decks, there's always going to be that deck that only has a 10% chance to win against another deck, or almost always has a 90% chance to win against another deck. Case in point is Odd Rogue versus Odd Warrior. Odd Warrior will win that matchup 9 times out of 10. However, just like any card game, the Odd Rogue can win that matchup. It's possible. It's not impossible to win. You can do it. But the reason I think it's healthy is because we have polarizing matchups in a meta that has close to a dozen viable decks. If you watch any of these tournaments, I haven't seen a tournament in this meta that hasn't had all 9 classes represented. And to me, that's a sign of a healthy meta. Now, what makes everybody feel bad about that is it's a frustrating meta. Because it's so difficult and so diverse, it's hard to predict. Therefore, your personal win rates aren't as high as they used to be. Therefore, it feels bad. But in all actuality, across the board, in my opinion, it's a balanced meta. And while I'm not as successful as I have been on the ladder in the past, I'm really enjoying this meta. And I like that there is a diverse meta. And I'm willing to accept polarizing matchups, with that.
I definitely think like the tournament meta is really interesting. Like to watch professional Hearthstone, HCT Hearthstone, I think is really great right now because of the diversity that's available. Maybe it's the shortcoming of the ladder that is really kind of the issue here. I honestly, part of me is like, I'm not sure if I've been around long enough to have a good opinion on this, but it does feel like because there's so many decks, it probably kind of means that because there's so many decks, there's going to end up being more and more polarizing matchups, because if there was fewer decks, you'd have more mirror matches. Mm-hmm. And you could potentially tech against the other opponents to where the matchups are maybe a little bit closer than they are. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it just feels like it's really frustrating on ladder because like it feels like you lost by the deck that you picked, not because of the plays that you made during the game. And it does sort of feel like even though you have a chance to win in those really unfavored matchups, I mean, it really has to go your way in order to win some of these unfavored matchups. And it, it would feel better if there wasn't so many different, if it didn't take kind of the god draw versus the absolutely terrible draw for you to win certain matchups when you're on ladder, because you have no way of not queuing into whatever your absolute worst matchup is. And so I really struggle. I feel like I'm playing as much or more Hearthstone now than I have in like the Witchwood meta or maybe even the Cobalts and Catacombs meta. But at the same time, I'm definitely feel like I'm frustrated by what's going on, specifically when it comes to the ladder. And like, so, I feel like I can't find a deck that actually works for me. It is where it feels like a lot of times.
Yeah. So Versika is joining us in the chat tonight, and he states, I feel like you have 5 or so decks that are really standing out, and everyone else is just kind of playing stuff because they're bored at this time.
I agree with the board meta statement, as you can see by the stuff I'm building.
Yeah, those of you who have listened to Hero Power for any period of time know that Versika has to counter Zoroshio at all times.
It's true. Now, I will say I have positive win rates, and by positive win rates, I mean above 50%, with decks like Mechathune Priest, OTK Paladin, obviously Odd Warrior, and it is one of the viable decks. So there are even though the decks may not be the most played, they're viable, and they can be piloted. Now, I'm also playing in League, so I have that as a practice ground. I know one thing that's really frustrating a lot of people right now is because we're in a very tech card heavy meta, and a lot of that is because you're teching against specific cards in the meta, like, I don't know, Giggling Eventer. And that brings me to my next topic is they announced today that card changes are going to be, this was announced in a tweet, and it specifically states, we've been discussing a couple of card balance changes to make next week. We'll have more information to provide on October 15th, which happens to be next Monday. This is a rather... we were talking about before show, Mageadeath. This is a oddly worded tweet that obviously this was released right at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern. So this was obviously scheduled. Is this kind of alluding that nerfs are coming? And obviously says that nerfs are coming next week. But the wording is weird. Tell us what you get from this, Mageadeath.
Like I was telling you guys, I read this thing like 6 or 7 times before I like literally got the message that they were trying to send, because it felt clunky the way it was written. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen where they said we're going to announce something and we're going to implement it the same week. So that's just not something that I would expect to happen. Yet, if you read what they said, word for word, that's what it sounds like is going to happen. And so that seems surprising to me. And like they also don't typically, when they're going to make changes, don't typically announce when the change is going to be made, when they do kind of the announcement of the announcement. But it sounds like, again, like they maybe did in this particular instance. And it's like, I was, we had that article a month ago, the In the Works article. They said that card to watch was Giggling Adventure, but they're just watching it right now, and that they weren't planning on, it didn't seem like they were planning on doing anything. So this kind of completely came out of left field. So it's like, well, what are they going to do? What cards are they going to hit? What? How can they be messaging us this today, saying they're going to do an announcement next week and they're going to implement changes next week? What changed besides, a bunch of people getting really upset on social media and on Reddit and people leaving the game and whatnot or whatever? Or what happened that they completely changed their mind? Because it didn't feel like they were going to make changes from the In the Works article.
I think a lot of the community backlash had a lot to do with that. Like, it's like, okay, there's something, we need something to change, and we're all bored, and the meta hasn't changed, and nobody likes it apparently. But it's also the fact that fall championships are happening this week, like literally tomorrow.
Yeah,
and they're not going to announce nerfs over fall championships. Like while these players are playing with this, 5-man Gillian Inventor, if they decide to change it, and being like, well, the guy would have won if they would have nerfed Gillian Inventor, before, the other guy would have won if they had nerfed Gillian Inventor before, the tournament like they usually do. But well, now that they're nerfing it after, now it's, that lead time, that feeling bad, that whole playing with nerf cards feels bad thing that was brought up.
The thing that really throws me off on this is we do have HCT, the fall seasonal championship this weekend, but this is only 3 weeks out of BlizzCon. We're looking at 2 weeks out of BlizzCon if they implement this next week. HGG is going to be at BlizzCon, so they're going to have 2 weeks to plan with these new nerfs. Also, the Challenger Series is still going on until the end of October. You're going to have Challenger Series Cups that are going on with these new changes, immediately followed by the Challenger Championship that is in the middle of November. I think they might have shot themselves in the foot when they could have made these changes a few weeks ago and softened the blow for the competitive scene instead of waiting almost until the last minute right before BlizzCon. I'm worried of the impact on the competitive scene on this. And furthermore, they're not saying change. They're saying a couple of card changes. So while everybody has Giggling Inventor on the radar, what else are they talking about? Do you have any speculation, Mageadeath, about what they might nerf?
It's weird. Because I wasn't thinking they were going to make changes, I haven't been speculating as to what sort of cards need to be nerfed. I feel like the things I've read and the things that make the most sense to me is the card that frustrates me the most is Quest Rogue. The Caverns Below quest. I don't
Which
like
has been
cards
nerfed
that
3
feel like
times
they have
already.
no counterplay to
Twice.
them, and it feels like that one is really bad in that regard. And I think that card, if a card is going to get nerfed again, I think I could see that card getting changed. I think Matt Arms, I think you were suggesting that maybe it's cards in the deck rather than the quest itself that needs to change.
Yeah, I think the biggest culprits for Quest Rogue isn't the quest itself anymore, except for maybe the fact that maybe the quest should be a minion that sits on the board so you can't prep it out. That's the other thought I had. But the main thing I would see changed, and it's kind of selfish of me because I have a golden Sonya, but Sonya, I could see her getting nerfed a little bit, even though she's an awesome card outside of Quest Rogue.
Right.
I think Shadow Step is a major culprit, and please, can we nerf or Hall of Fame Shadow Step at some point? That'd be great.
I think it's gonna get Hall of Famed before it gets.
Well, it's going to get so it goes in the wild with the quest in 6 months. But the other target I think that might happen, and I think it's another classic card. It's Nourish. Nourish is a card that until that wasn't that big a deal. It was kind of a good card kind of really only showed up after the Ancient of Lore nerf index. But the fact that the fact that Ultimate Infestation exists, so now you have no reason not to ramp. Basically you play Nourish to ramp at this point, not draw cards. So it removes that ability of the card. So if you nerf Nourish in any way, like, I don't know, maybe make it empty mana crystals, or maybe make it 6 mana, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I think that really hurts a lot of the Druid decks in the format, and kind of removes some of the Druid dominance we've seen, the amount of Druid decks we've seen. My also personal hope is that Juicy Psych Melon, even though it's not a problem in Standard, gets nerfed to 7 mana. So that, when they ramp up to 5 mana in Wild, and they play Juicy Psych Melon, and you just, might as well just concede at that point. It's one of those things where that card would still be playable at 7 mana in Wild with all the combos available. It's just, it wouldn't like Aviana Kun. Yeah, it's impressive. Just that combo itself, it's pretty strong, but but Psych Melon is what made that combo in the insane power level it is.
So here's my question, and I like a lot of those. So definitely Sonya Shadow Dancer, whatever her name is. She's definitely on the target for me. But the big hot button card everybody's been wanting nerf is Giggling Inventor. Now, I personally don't believe Giggling Inventor needs to be nerfed, but what are your guys' thoughts on Giggling Inventor specifically? Mageadeath?
So I'm kind of back and forth on this, because it seems to me that 2 cards are in this meta right now because of 1 card. Mossy Horror and Blood Knight are in this meta because of 1 card, Giggling Inventor. And if there are 2 cards in the meta just because of 1, that probably means something with regards to power level, that it needs to be addressed. But at the same time, on its own, I don't necessarily feel like the power is too strong. I mean, the stats on the board aren't, but it feels like the Divine Shield might be a bit too much if I was to tweak the card itself. It feels like from a mana cost, or I'm paying 5 mana, I'm getting 4 or 5 worth of stats, but I'm getting 2 Divine Shields, and so all of that together means it feels like it's more like 6 to 6.5 mana worth of stuff that you're getting, and so it kind of it's not powerful. It's just really annoying to get through, and so I think ultimately it should probably be changed, because we have tech cards are in the meta now because of this card. That, I mean, obviously Spreading Plague is another reason that Mossy Horror is so popular too, but a lot of times you're looking to target Giggling Inventor with that Mossy Horror or the Blood Knight, and so it's if it wasn't that powerful, people wouldn't be teching in cards especially in decks like Zoo Warlock, that it makes absolutely no sense that card is in the deck.
What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. I'm on the fence where I don't think the mana cost is an issue. I think the Giggling Inventor herself, the 2/1, is the issue. If she was a 0/1, I think she'd be a lot more fair. I think, and if we do up it to 6 mana, I can't wait to start building an even Paladin again.
See, and that was my thought. A lot of people said go to 6 mana, and the first thing I thought of
even Shaman too,
or even even worse, even Warlock.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about even Warlock.
Yeah, even Warlock with Giggling Inventor just seems absolutely disgusting to me.
I definitely thought even Shaman would just shoot through the roof on power level if it could have Giggling Inventor in it at 6 mana.
That's why I think the attack. That's why I think an attack nerf or a nerf on the 2/1 itself is probably what's going to be
Versika's comment in the chat about moving it maybe to 4 mana and getting only 1 Anoyotron would make sense too.
I don't hate that. I definitely want to keep the 1/2 Anoyotron bodies with the Divine Shield because that's the flavor. But I definitely don't hate maybe moving it to 4 mana. You could even leave it at 5 mana and have it only drop 1 Anoyotron, and it still would be powerful.
The best reason I've heard to move it to up a mana slot, quite honestly, is Questrogue itself, where basically at 6 mana you can't Shadow Reflection Giggling Inventor.
Right.
So
either that or change the quest so that it only happens to your minions, not any tokens that spawn as a result of your minions.
I like that. I like that as well.
Did you hear that, Versika? If it goes to 6 mana, then it really nerfs Questrogue. That'll turn him over to the tide.
Actually,
he hates Questrogue.
But Giggling Inventor with Flame Tongue Totem scares the crap out of me.
Yes, and as well it should.
Yeah.
So moving on in our news here, did anybody else have anything else they want to talk about? Speculations on these possible nerfs?
So one thing I will say about Nourish is it really wasn't a problem until Ultimate Infestation, and I guess now that the card is in the game, Wild is still a thing, and we want to kind of think about Wild with regards to these cards as well. But it's like, from a standard point of view, it might not be as big a problem in 6 months when Ultimate Infestation rolls out of rotates out of standard. But it probably is still going to be a problem in Wild, and so it probably does need to get looked at.
Yeah.
What if they nerfed Ultimate Infestation to a choose one effect, where maybe you get the armor and draw or damage in a minion?
Like a choose 2 or something, maybe even.
I was thinking
like branching paths.
Maybe I was thinking more of you get the draw and the armor, or you get the damage in a minion, and because those kind of pair up together in game plans. Sure. But yeah, I think they haven't done enough new good choose one effects. It's kind of died away. That was kind of the identity of it when the game first came out, and they really haven't embraced it. And I'd like them to go back to embracing it, because I think that's what actually balances Druid, is the fact that you have to choose what direction you want to play, or which way you want to do. The advantage is you could choose on the fly instead of building your deck that way. And they kind of just gone away from choose ones, and to me, that self-balances the class.
Which is shocking because FanDuel rotated, and I think they would actually print more good choose ones.
Yeah,
really.
You'd think so.
I also would love to actually play Juicy Psych Melon. I've opened like almost 230 packs of Boom Day card and have zero Juicy Psych Melons so far.
Well,
I have enough dust that I could craft them, but it's like now it's just a matter of principle.
Well, go to Wild and play Druid. They don't play UI. They play Juicy Fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, I've played a few games. I play a few games in Wild, and I have definitely been been star-allied.
Okay, so our next topic is Chinese Taipei has been eliminated from the Hearthstone Global Games for stream sniping. Now, this was found out by the admins when they got video footage from Chinese Taipei after the match. They noticed that it was really clear that they didn't play around MC Tech. And when they asked them about that, they weren't shy about it. They asked them, "How did you know?"
This was in the video. This is in the video that Chinese Taipei uploaded to their YouTube.
Yes, it says they mentioned. Yeah, wait, he has TC mind control tech. It was discarded by tracking. How did you know? He just saw it. And Jaxie says, "I saw it." Like, how did you see it? And there was silence, and he says dynamic vision. And his players, his co-players, teammates kind of chuckled and said, "Yeah, dynamic vision." And later is found out that they were watching the stream that was on a delay, but they were taking the information that happened earlier in the delay to use it later in the game, and that since they lost to Singapore is now going to the Hearthstone Global Games finals at BlizzCon. Now, there's been some shakeup over this because if you remember correctly, Chinese Taipei is the team that knocked the United States down to losers bracket. Now, there's been no proof that they did this any other time during the tournament, but precedent itself says they may have. So what do you guys think? Chinese Taipei, was this stiff enough punishment? Should anything else be done?
I think the punishment's fine, quite honestly. That's like the only time they've had proof of any type of stream sniping. And I think actually, in Hearthstone World Champion, Tom 60229 was on that team.
Yes.
And he released a statement a couple of days later saying, and basically throwing the entire competitive scene under the bus, saying that, there's a lot of speculation of cheating throughout the entire HGG. The fact that all these are LAN tournaments, and people are running deck trackers, which aren't allowed. People are watching the stream, which obviously is sniping and not allowed. And basically saying the whole competitive scene is this way, and Hearthstone esports needs to get better at this, which I don't disagree. And he goes on to apologize to the fans and this industry for basically how his team acted. Obviously, reading over the transcript, Tom 60229 wasn't involved with this. He was on the team, but he wasn't involved in that particular incident. But it just makes that team and makes kind of what he did, in my opinion, is kind of not look that great on his pad.
Tarnished it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just saying that, other people cheat, to me, is not justification for cheating. There's a lot of integrity in sports. In real sports, just because you hear other people take steroids, does that mean you need to take steroids? No. To me, cheating is cheating, and it's uncalled for. I really think that these players should be barred from competitive play for a minimum of 1 year. That is my personal belief on that. There is stuff in place to catch cheating, and this is how they did it.
Yep. Stream sniping is like, I would compare it to like deflating the football so your guys can catch it.
Who would do such a thing?
Too soon.
It's like paying your players in the SEC, right?
Okay, touche.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to mention on that? I know, Man at Arms, you did find the Tom 60229 statement, and I was really disappointed in the way he reacted. It was more, he took ownership at the end and apologized, but I just don't like the fact that he went immediately started pointing fingers, saying, well, we did it, but other people did it too. So, while he says we, it's his team. He wasn't directly involved, according to the video.
To be fair, his statement was in Chinese, and I had to run it through Google Translate, which I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know the exact tone of it. It's basically, but what I felt of it, but what I read from from other sources, it felt like it's like he's taking the blame, but he's also throwing as many people under the bus as he can.
Now we have to take some people down with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have a great deck we're going to be talking about with Mageadeath here shortly. So we're going to go over these topics pretty quick. The Art of Hearthstone book is available at BlizzCon and Blizzard Shop. You can buy it for the standard edition at $45 or limited edition at $125. There's a little bit of this book was supposed to go on Amazon and was replaced. It said it was no longer available and replaced with the pop-up book, which is a 5-page pop-up book. And I'm wondering if they didn't decide, we don't want this on Amazon. We want this to be able to be gotten from our store because there's a lot of demand for it. And I think it's a good step. I know a lot of people were upset that they had to get their Amazon money, refunded to them for the pre-order, but they can just buy this from the Blizzard store. So that's kind of exciting. Also, the BlizzCon goodies announced today. It comes with the Starliner card back, as well as the Get In Here bundle. Now, I got my Starliner card back today, but I didn't get my Get In Here bundle, and I'm not sure if that's we haven't gotten any confirmation from anybody else if they've gotten their bundle or not. So if you didn't get your bundle, kind of pay attention to social media and see if anybody else has reported it. And if I find out that that you're supposed to get it now, I'm going to put in a ticket. I urge everybody else to do that. Then moving on, Twitch is doing another promo. Blizzard's doing a promo through Twitch. It's Twitch Rivals Gold Rush Challenge. The streamers are going to start a brand new account and stream all their progress on that account. And the goal is to unlock all classes and get to level 10 with all classes. The first person to 5,000 gold and accomplish that wins $15,000 cash. Man at Arms, I know you kind of had some opinions on this topic. Do you think this is a good promotion, a bad promotion?
Initial hot take was, hey, Blizzard, Team 5 is like, hey, look at this great new player experience we designed. Marketing comes along and says, great, let's ruin it for a month. But, the fact, but, looking into it more, it's like, it's actually I think it'd be kind of a cool, like, arena promotion. And I think what the guys in the arena need as much love as they can get. And props to Frodan for putting this together, in my opinion. But yeah, still, like, if you're inviting a new player to come play Hearthstone starting on the 17th, tell him to kind of wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month, so that he doesn't like get rolled over by Amaz and Adwaita and Merps as they try to level up their classes to level 10.
And I've made a brand new account and played. It's actually more difficult than I was suspecting. A lot of people have gone in there, made brand new accounts, and then bought a bunch of bundles with real cash and have, I played somebody that had Big Spell Mage straight up with Jaina and everything.
Oh, good Lord.
And this was at rank 49.
Oh, geez.
49.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Zoo.
It's not immune. It's not immune to whales being able to go in there and kind of fill up their coffers. What do you think about this, Mageadeath?
So I hadn't actually. I saw the announcement. Didn't get a chance to look at it too much. It seems interesting. I don't know if it's anything I would participate in or anything like that. But it does look kind of fun. But yeah, it does sort of feel like, hey, we just created this really great new player experience, and let's throw a whole bunch of really good players into that, so those new players can get rolled. Yep. I don't know. I think anytime there can be a contest like this to bring like awareness of the game and some of the features of the game, I'm all for it. I just don't, and obviously showing off the 50 to 26 that is now there is kind of cool as well. I know a bunch of people were already creating new accounts to try out that. But I'm not sure if it's anything I would do.
I will say, if you are one of those that made a brand new account and spent a bunch of money to be able to do really well, play during this event and give these pro
give
players
them a run for their money.
Just give them havoc, annoy them with the collection you have and they don't have. I think that if you do that, I'll watch it. That'll be fun to watch.
Yes, I would. There you go. I like that.
You cash cows, get in there and just embarrass them. Speaking of being embarrassed, the Tavern Brawl this week is Boss Battle Royale 2. The bosses are back and they brought some new friends. Find out who's the new champion. Choose a class and we'll give you a corresponding dungeon boss to play. There are some new ones in here. If you play Druid, your new one is King Togwaggle, where you get a hero power for 3 mana to find a treasure. It's very powerful. Hunter gets Skelosaurus Rex with the 0-cost hero power. Give each player a random card. It costs 0. Mage is Curator. Hero power is passive. Your hero has Taunt. The Paladin is White Knight from the chess. We did this last time they had the boss battle, where 2 mana hero power, discover a chess piece. The priest is Professor Putricide, which is weird to me. The hero power is passive. All secrets cost 0. I don't know why that's priest, but okay. Rogue is Grobulus. Hero power 2 mana. Deal 1 damage to all minions. If any die, summon a slime. Shaman's Lady Nazjar. The hero power is OP. It's at the end of your turn. Added to your turn, replace all minions with new ones that cost 1 more. They nerfed the Warlock one. It was Syndicate. It's different now. It's a hero power 2 mana, deal 2 damage. That's all it is. And then the warrior is Corin Direbrew from the Grim Guzzler. And his hero power is 0. Put a minion from each deck into the battlefield. That one's fun too. Did you guys get a chance to play the Tavern Brawl at all?
I did. I'm glad they nerfed the Warlock because the last time they did this, it was Syndragosa, and whenever Syndragosa hit 20, it froze all the other minions on the board into
that's right.
ice blocks, so they couldn't do anything. Togwaggle's fun. Toggwaggle's the new addition.
Yeah.
He's pretty fun. It's basically an RNG fiesta with him. And Lady Nazjar is just OP.
Yeah, that's
the one. You can trade and evolve, and they don't have a board.
I played Druid a lot. Did you play it at all, Mageadeath?
Have not played it yet. I usually do that on stream, so I will be doing that a little bit later tonight.
Awesome.
I liked the Shaman one last time they did this brawl. I'm really interested actually to try out King Togwaggle. That's the one I won it with. It's a lot of fun.
Definitely check out Mageadeath after this on his stream. We'll let you pimp more on that. But real quick, let's go into this deck. It is a Mageadeath. We call it DeathRattle Hunter. And I'm going to run through the deck, and then we'll give you some time to go ahead and talk over your card choices in here. We have 2 Candle Shot, 2 Hunter's Mark, 2 Play Dead, 2 Tracking, 1 Prince Keleseth, 2 Devilsaur Egg, 1 Gluttonous Ooze, 2 Spider Bomb, 2 Terror Scale Stalkers, 2 Flanking Strike, 1 Houndmaster Shaw, 1 Serenite Chain Gang, 2 Carnivorous Cube, 2 Witchwood Grizzly, 1 Ziliax, 1 Deathstalker Rexar, 1 Mossy Horror, 1 Savannah Highmane, 1 Katharina Winterwisp, and 1 King Crush. Take it away, Mageadeath.
So I really like this deck. I've actually been a big fan of DeathRattle since, I played it a lot in the Witchwood as well. And, it obviously takes advantage of the Carnivorous Cube and getting to be able to create a ton of value from the cube. And, it's pretty straightforward. You're trying to get the eggs on board, and then you use your all the activators. You've got the Terror Scale Stalkers and the Play Deads to get 5/5s out of the eggs. You could potentially use the cube to bust the eggs as well. It's fun, and like some of the like the changes now for Boomsday is it adds Ziliax, which is really nice. Yeah. That wasn't necessarily something you were seeing early on in Boomsday with this deck, but it seems to be getting more and more popular. The fact that it's a taunt, it can be three damage removal, it can be a heal for 3 to 6, depending on whether or not depending on how they remove it. That's really powerful. I've also just today cubing Ziliax is pretty nice as well.
Nice.
Get a little extra healing. It seems like it doesn't seem like it's got a ton of bad matchups. I mean, the deck, if an aggressive deck gets a really strong opening, you're probably not going to do particularly well if you don't have the cards to match up and cheat out some of those 5/5 Devilsaurs. But you've got tools that you can handle just about every matchup, and so I do like that from that regard. I've played. I also really like Katharina Winterwisp, and I've tried on Monday's stream. I actually tried a version that was more mech focused and didn't run Katharina and King Crush. But there are a lot of control decks where just being able to pull out King Crush and hit hit face is game winning, and so I'm a big fan of those two cards at the back end. You do kind of then have to be careful on how you use tracking, because you don't want to lose the beasts like King Crush, like the Grizzlies with tracking. Mm-hmm. So I typically, like, a lot of times some people will track on turn one. I don't like tracking on turn one. I like waiting to find a specific card that I need in a specific instance, and then use tracking looking for it, because you can get yourself in a lot of trouble with Katharina if you use your trackings early and you suddenly don't have any more Grizzlies or any more King Crush in your deck. Katharina's a lot less intimidating as just a 6/6 that doesn't do anything when she dies.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Well, awesome. We're going to get in and play this, but before we do that, go ahead. I know you're going to be streaming after this show. We're doing a live show here on HeroPowerHS.com. But do us a favor and go ahead, tell us where people can find you, your channels, and Twitter and all that stuff.
Thank you for that. So I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at twitch.tv/Mageadeath. Mage, the letter A, death, all one word. That is my handle on Twitter as well. I typically try and tweet out when what I'm going to play the day of. And did I say Monday, Wednesday, Friday? I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So and we usually go for a few hours each of the 3 nights, so it's about 10 hours or so a week, and I have so much fun doing that. And getting to talk to people on Twitch while playing the games and stuff is a lot of fun. And sometimes they spot things that I don't see, and that helps me even more. So I definitely appreciate that as well. So yeah, guys, definitely check it out if you get a chance. I would love to see you come by the stream and say hello.
Awesome.
Sweet. That's good. All right, guys. If you are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via the audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
Make those OP beasts.
That's right.
All right. So, Mageadeath, I guess you are going to be driving tonight.
Yes, I'm just starting up the game right now.
Yep, I'm doing the same.
Did not have it open while we were recording the podcast. I hit rank 5 today with the deck, and I've gone 23-12 this month so far with the version of DeathRattle Hunter.
That's right at what, a 66% win rate?
Yeah, 65.7% win rate.
Nice. I do math.
and so I've had some pretty good luck. That was from rank 9 to rank 5. And so that was, yeah, I really like the deck. The rank 5 boss today that I was able to beat was a Big Spell Mage, and I ended up winning the game because my first cube I cubed Ziliax and play dead on it immediately and got a couple 3/2 taunts with with lifesteal. Then nice. I created a Zombeast that was a Bear Shark plus Stranglethorn Tiger.
Ooh.
And just kept it hidden until I got my cube along with a Terrascale Stalker and created 2 9/8s that are untargetable, and then proceeded to hit him in the face. So
that's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing better than cubing. Actually, there is nothing better than cubing King Crush in this deck, quite honestly. It's probably the greatest feeling in the world.
If you want to go ahead and get in Mageadeath, we will fight the spectate boss.
All right, I am queuing right now. And have found an opponent.
Awesome.
Is he a worthy one?
It's still spinning, so it is a damp druid. No! Oh, it's a worthy opponent. Okay.
I love this joke.
All right, so we've got a rogue opponent. So typically, I mean, in a lot of instances, you're just looking for the egg. You're looking for activators for the egg, like Play Dead and the Terror Scale Stalker, and you're looking for Keleseth. Rogue is going to probably be a more aggressive matchup. I don't think so. I want to look for those three cards, but I think I also kind of like cards like Candle Shot to try and deal with an early Cold Blood target, like if they do that on Argent Squire. I also like the Gluttonous Ooze against the Rogue to kind of blow up a odd rogue weapon.
Okay.
So those are kind of the cards I think I want. I'm trying to decide if
throw all this back.
Yeah, I think I probably want to throw the Stalker back as well.
I know I'm always tempted to keep Witchwood Grizzly against Odd Rogue because of that big taunt. Ooh, got the Keleseth.
No, I don't like this hand at all.
The Keleseth's good.
This-
We
don't see Baku. We don't see Baku, so that's a plus.
I think this is Quest Rogue.
Yeah,
He full kept too.
Yeah, he did full
hand.
keep. That and what's scarier than a Quest Rogue is a Quest Rogue that keeps his entire hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the bad matchups of this deck is Quest Rogue. Runs a little slow on the slower side, so it's kind of
There it goes.
I was gonna say I haven't seen a Quest Rogue in a few days, so I was actually feeling kind of okay with that. But
so since we see Quest Rogue, we just want pressure, right?
Yeah, we just want to.
Which would be great if we had eggs and activators, but we don't have any of those.
Well, at least he's probably going to. He might just hero power this turn if he wants to go off with bounce effects next turn.
He's thinking about something. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. At least we got Gluttonous Ooze because that'll take away a little bit of his curve. Well, here's the Devil Sore Egg.
I think you ooze here because it's one of those because you don't have any activators right now.
No,
and it kind of puts some more pressure on than the egg does.
That's true.
And he has to spend another 2 mana to put it up so that his 2/1 charger can do something.
Yeah, and if we egg next turn, we only need to have it survive one turn.
We can activate it instantly too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I probably would have gone egg, but you make a very compelling reason for doing it this way.
It's a lot easier when I'm not sitting in chat too.
Well, that's what we try to do is talk through the plays, just so we can see these lines.
Even if we don't get Play Dead, this means the Devil Sore Egg only has to survive one turn for us to cube it.
That's true.
Oh, Mimic Pot on 3 feels really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Devil Sore. I mean, that's pretty much our best option.
Now we just hope that he didn't Mimic Pot a Giggling Inventor.
That's true, but we do have the Mossy in here just for that, but that would be rough.
I'm actually not in... Yeah, he's going a slower route to completing the quest with Novice Engineer.
He needs to be careful.
Yeah, so with doing the quest with Novice Engineer, you have the risk of burning your quest. I love seeing people use Novice Engineer or the one that gets you 2 minions because you can really punish them for that.
Do we just flanking strike this and just go face?
I don't hate that. I mean, the other line is to Carnivorous Cube, but honestly,
I never like leaving up bounce effects.
Yeah.
And so I want to remove it.
Well, he's only at 2 of 5, and if we flanking strike, that gives us a 3/3. So next turn we're looking at already having 9 damage on the board, and maybe we just race him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like flanking strike here.
Also, there's no way to weave in a hero power here either. So yeah, it's definitely
No.
Because that's something we kind of want to do too. Is like have considerations. Like, okay, now we have 2 less mana than we normally do because we will be hitting that button every turn to put pressure on him.
That's definitely true. He almost has to have a vanish, and this isn't a great board for him to vanish.
And if it blows a prep on a vanish here, I'm perfectly happy.
Yeah. I mean, he has the coin still, technically.
Yes. So
But using a vanish where you don't bounce anything back to your hand for the quest feels bad.
No, it is bad. That's the novice he has been playing. He's at what? 10 cards.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, and he is. This is risky.
There's the vanish.
Prep. So he top deck.
Oh, Mimic Pod.
Really?
Shadow Step.
And I think
he's going to burn a card.
I think he mimic potted a Shadow Step. Yeah, he did.
Okay, but wait. He's going to burn it.
He's going to burn the quest.
He's going to burn it. If he plays it right now, he burns it. Yes.
He burned the quest.
He did.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh no.
This is why sometimes you just don't go all in on.
Yep. That's why I don't like doing the quest off of Novice Engineer or anything that draws cards.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't beat him. He beat himself.
Good place. I think the pressure we put on him though put like a lot of pressure.
I agree.
Put a lot of like, okay, I have to complete this quest as soon as possible. Oh crap, I just burned it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I definitely think I think you have to do that, and then hope they don't have the vanish, and because you don't want to get in a value game with them. It's pretty.
I'm about to swap out here.
It was weird how slow the play went when the opponent kept the entire hand.
Oh, we like
Keleseth, Egg, and a Mossy Horror.
I kind of like, I tossed the Mossy, I think, but otherwise I like this hand.
Yeah.
Rasika said him burning the quest feels good, man.
That's the truth.
Indeed.
Ooh, Ziliax. I like Ziliax. Ooh, you got Rexar.
And Rexar. So if this is like a burn mage, I like having the Ziliax in for that.
I might drop out for just a second, guys. Hold on.
Frostbolt my face
Wow.
on one.
Coin Frostbolt. What? Why?
That's just rank 5 things, man. Come on.
I'm gonna rank 5 play turn 2 Keleseth.
Now he doesn't have a way to deal with Keleseth. What is going on?
And then follows it up with a hero power.
See, if he doesn't kill us by 6, we just Rexar and oh my gosh. So we definitely want a Devil Sorag because one of the ways he gets a lot of burn is with Arcane Missiles and the Cinderstorm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did he frostbolted our face?
On one. On one. He coined
on one
our
and
face.
then hero powered on 2.
Rank 5 is weird, dude.
I don't understand it anymore.
We've got
Changang will eat that kind of nicely, actually.
Yeah.
Or do we Spider Bomb just to test for the explosive?
I was thinking the Terror Scale, but I do like the Spider Bomb.
Yeah, because if it's explosive, they'll kill the 4/3.
But if it's counter spell, we kind of
explosive,
get punished.
It's fine. We don't have anything to trigger counter spell anyway.
Well, if he doesn't, if it's counter spell, that doesn't really matter because he hits face, and then we just Ziliax the Spider Bomb because he's not going to trade.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah, explosive runes, perfect.
It's great. And whatever he puts out next turn, we can Zilliax to get some life back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the terror into the
Okay. Perfect. I think we got to remove that, I think, but
yeah, we have to. Do we? Well, Zilliax doesn't clear it by itself.
it's Ascending Kaliseth too, but we also heal for 3.
It's true. I think we have to clear it though. There's isn't an option. Now he has to put his sights on killing Zilliax now because he can't afford to just leave it up. So if it eats a spell at all, it's great.
Okay.
Another spell. There's Cinderstorm. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yes. That is great.
I think we just dropped the Chain Gang. Yeah, I think we just dropped Chain Gang.
Yeah.
Hero power. That's where my
Yeah, I don't hate it. Before he has a chance to put out that.
That.
And I think he drew Counterspell, which is why he didn't play it. I think if he got Explosive Runes, he might have played it instead of the Cinderstorm. We just go face.
Yeah.
And Hero Power, that's 10 damage right there. And we heal for 3.
It is the place.
And he's probably going to trade into the Zilliax with the 2/3. Yeah. Wow.
We have lethal on board.
Yeah.
And he lost.
And he plays
and he Aluneths because he got it on 6. You have to, right? In that.
Not with this much pressure.
With this much pressure, Aluneth is bad.
Silly.
I think
so. Do we Rexar here just to kind of nail in the coffin, or?
I think
we need Rexar for the reach.
I think
we need our hero power
just
for the reach.
egg and hero power.
Okay, I don't hate that.
I'll put egg in the middle of the.
Yeah. I like that just to play around any kind of shenanigans off Primordial Glyph.
And we've got King Crush in hand, so.
You know what? We need to stop recording on Wednesday nights so I can play on Wednesday nights, because if this is the caliber of players that play on Wednesday nights, I'm sorry.
Well, after our draws, like when we played Burn Mage last week, I just
don't get it. He burns the quest the first game, and in this game they coin Frostbolt on turn 1. I don't.
And just like that, 2-0.
Wow.
He must have had the worst possible draw. I don't even know what he. God.
And I don't. I'm lost.
I'm baffled. I am baffled.
I will tell you, I had like rank 8 games, like games at rank 8 that didn't go as smoothly as these last 2 games have gone.
So it's just like 8:45. Do you want to play one more game before we call it a night?
Yeah, I think we can play one more.
You know, every time we go 2-0 really fast and we say play another one, we end up getting like the worst matchup ever. But let's do it.
We already
it's going to be Odd Warrior or Togwaggle Druid now.
Yeah. Oh, Togwaggle Druid.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you need that game though just to like show you how deck actually plays. Oh, Odd Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes. You don't spell Canadian with a K.
He doesn't know. He definitely doesn't follow Craig on Twitter.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't follow Craig on Twitter because if he can't spell Canada. So
I think the only card I would keep here is the egg.
Yeah. I mean, there's merit to tracking for the Play Dead, but I think that's a waste.
I think if this is Auto Warrior, you do not play tracking.
Yeah.
Because you're going to put yourself ahead in fatigue.
Well, the goal is not to get to fatigue.
And we have Rexar, so that actually is really
that's really good.
That's phenomenal.
And we have the coin, so we can Rexar as early as 5 and get that going on 6.
Well, Mageadeath called it, so called our opponent.
Dang it. I like erupting the volcano and passing.
Yes.
You could do the Savits, and you do all the sequence of the volcano except for the last one, and just drive chat nuts. Do the 4 sequence, and then you just stop, and then randomly, right in the middle of the game, sometime you hit it, and then it goes off, and chat gets mad that you didn't give any warning. Is it worth coining out the Devil Sword?
Not without an activator.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I would say not without an activator. Plus, they do run the owl.
Yes, they do.
So that would be an on-curve play. So
we just hero power here?
Yeah, I think it's just hero power.
I like MCT depending on what he does this next turn, though.
That's true. It challenges the rover.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get... Oh, there's Kalaseth. Never mind.
Okay. Well, that decision was made for us. So do we Kalaseth here every time, or?
I actually think maybe playing the MC tech.
Yeah, just because it challenges the 1/3.
Because it challenges the 1/3 better, and then we can Kalaseth hero power next turn.
That's true. I like that.
I like it.
Better use of mana, I think.
I would agree with you. There's never going to be a time to MC tech, really.
Odd Warrior doesn't typically have more than 3 minions on the board more often than not, it seems like.
No.
Mm-mm.
Just ignoring it.
Yep.
I like the ooze.
This ooze will be good. Do we trade this in and then Prince hero power?
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that ooze is going to be real nice against his Super Collider.
His hand size is surprisingly low
for only playing 1 minion so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps we have the coin, but yeah.
That's true.
I don't know when
we're gonna have a good time for Witchwood Grizzly.
When we have a cube, and then we can coin it and then play dead it.
Yeah.
That's the thought I had, but
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I could definitely see us just Rexar next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would rather use the coin for the Rexar next turn so we can start getting the beast value, because he's going to have trouble. They have single target removal when you're just putting out single target bomb after single target bomb.
I especially like it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we got the Play Dead
for our.
I think this is easily coin Rexar, right?
Easy peasy.
Doesn't matter the order here.
No, it doesn't. I honestly think it might have been a misplay playing Giggling Inventor on 5.
Yeah, he wasn't that
coin. Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, he could have taken that damage and armored up.
And now his Super Collider is just bad.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Hero power pass.
I think we...
Well, we could hero power, and then we could still egg and play dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're saying he hero power pass. Sorry.
Yeah.
Timberwolf's good.
I like Kodo. Because it kills something like... I don't know.
Yeah,
It's one of the 6-1 have to. It's I like. Yeah,
it could
it's
kill
either
part of a giggling eventer, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I like Timberwolf. Yeah, because we're gonna have 5. We're at 5 attack beasts here. Ooh, Haunting Mastiff. It's really nice with the 1 mana card.
Yeah, and turn 9 you could have 3 of them.
Yep.
So we want to do egg and play dead.
We're gonna bait out a brawl, but yeah.
Well,
Or
if he
MCT.
brawls, we'll have 2 minions still. He could MCT. That is possible.
Could Reckless too, and then we'd have just the 5/5.
Yeah. But that leaves it open for cube and other fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Giggling's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That tracking's never being played.
Mm-hmm. So
Let's
it's
see.
find a beast.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I think we find a beast. I don't hate that.
Another Timberwolf. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh, Corpse Widow. Corpse Widow's really nice with the cube.
yeah.
it is. Because it reduces it.
I like.
You like the Corpse Widow more than the Timberwolf here?
I think I do.
We have a Timberwolf, so it's
I think we just do the
expensive.
Grizzly
Ugh.
with the cheapest option.
Yeah. It's just so see now we can't couple it with the cube on 1 turn though.
So we just double trade? Like
Little trade and cube, and then
What about
Yeah,
double
cube.
trade Grizzly? Are we gonna ever get a better Grizzly than this?
I don't think so.
And if it stays alive, we could cube it.
Yeah, gives us another cube target and more pressure with the wolf next turn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 3/5. It sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a 3/5, but I don't think we're ever getting any
should have
better.
put it on the other side. It's bad placement for Super Collider.
And now he's ahead in speed.
It's not a great Super Collider spot, but it's not terrible either because it won't kill the 5/4.
It'll kill
Yeah.
the 3/5, but yeah,
Yeah.
they can clean up with the 2/1 or the 1/2.
I'm just saying I should have put it over on the left side.
Yeah, probably, but
We're at rank 5, and we've seen the plays at this level.
yeah. So we left it up.
Wow. Not
So
having
we trade-
activator kind of stinks, but
Do we trade in the Grizzly and then eat it with the Carnivorous Cube?
Yeah.
I
He
like
hasn't
it.
silenced the egg by now. I don't think he has a silence. And they'll have 2 silence targets.
I think we beast tap here too.
Yeah, I should have done that first, but
Yeah, but I got overzealous on the play. I like
Uh,
Played
or
it.
Shimmer
Beetle.
Corsair is really good too.
I like Beetle.
I do like Beetle though. We'll have chances for Corsair later.
Beetle and
Beetle charge.
Yeah,
Beetle rush.
the Beetle Rush. We could actually get 6 armor in a turn if we wanted to.
Ooh, yeah, do that. I like that. That's a good. That'd be a nice turn.
The Mastiff.
I don't want to use the candle shot because I don't want it oozed
Yeah,
That's
until
true.
we have something we want a hunter's mark.
I definitely agree. Since we have the Hunter's Mark, we don't want to bait out the ooze yet.
it's just a long, arduous game for him.
Yeah, because
We are favorite in
keeping
this matchup.
we're keeping solid pressure.
We haven't drawn any of our activators other than the one play dead.
That's true.
Ooh, that I need to only play one. Never mind. But
I mean,
with the 8 mana beast in our hand, if that lives a turn, that zombie beast is 2 mana. That beetle we just made.
Oh yeah, it is.
He just hero powered past again.
Do we throw down the Zombeast right now?
I think we threw down the 8-mana one.
Yeah, the Corpse Taker or whatever, the
Corpse Widow.
Corpse Widow next to the cube.
I like it.
Because what that's going to do is he's not going to have a good collider shot, and secondly,
So like right next to, so like in between the
in between would be fine. Yeah,
that way if she swings into the egg, she'll pop the egg. That's right.
Yeah.
She had taunt. Forgot about that.
Yeah. The thing is that I see here though, and I think we just passed from this point.
Yeah, again, we don't really have. We don't want to put more things into a potential brawl.
Why I like this is because Reckless Fury is almost dead.
Oh, it's a brawl now.
Still, it's not a great brawl.
Flurry?
It doesn't kill him.
Oops. Oh, that'll do it.
He was hoping it would kill the bears.
Well, that's not that bad.
Don't know. And he has no armor. I think we just do we send this face and maybe
send in the
double Zombeast?
Yeah, double
Bladed Beetle?
Bladed Beetle, yeah, I like that. And then Beast tap first.
Because we could use it to clear the 3/4.
I like the Amalgam or the Iron Beak.
I like the Silence.
Yeah, I like the Silence too.
Silence with Stealth and Poison.
I like, or just the Raptor.
Just that's 5 mana.
That makes it 5 mana, yeah.
5 mana. Yeah.
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
Double Plated Beetle, run one of them in, and then 5 to face. Yeah.
Send the one on the end in. For
Yes, for that's for placement
Collider.
of the
Super Collider, which he hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
I think he has it. He just hasn't found a time that it's been viable.
It's like, why didn't you send that one in?
He's used both Giggly Inventors already.
It's got three.
That's not that. Okay. Hunter's Mark 2 sticks and bow it down.
Oh, and then there's Flanking Strike too.
Flanking Strike to 2/3. We need to get some cards out of our hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 10. So I like using the Candle Shot and a Hunter's Mark on the 2/6.
Yeah, we want to start with that probably. That's really good. And do we just
send it?
face?
I'm actually thinking we make 3 of those other zombies.
Okay. Well, we can only
or
make 2.
2 of them. Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Beast tap again. And then we had a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah. Life Drinker's good.
Or we can Corpse Widow.
I like Life Drinker.
Yeah, it's not as expensive.
Dire Mole.
Dire Mole. Just
the other one was the stealth, but
then we just go face, right?
Yeah, we just go all in face.
I wouldn't rush into that dude. To be honest, let him deal with it.
Actually, I would have rushed in maybe just because for Beryllium Nullifier or something like that.
Maybe Brawl. That's fine.
But we put on a ton of pressure then.
We have. And a 4/4 lives, so that's good.
It's fine. Flanking Strike's really good there. Ooh, there's the king.
Oh, So we Flanking Strike and
Life Drinker, I think.
Life Drinker. That puts him at 12. And I would almost even just
Hit face.
hit face with the 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
It might telegraph King Crush, but
It's fine.
what's he going to do about it?
It's like, you got it, bro. What are you?
And one thing I always forget, Kella says sometimes, and remember, King Crush is 9/9 right now, because sometimes I'll miss lethal because I thought it was an 8/8.
Blade.
To gore how we win.
Wow, yeah. Even if he armors up,
Golden Blade's weird.
that's lethal. Jeez.
We got to do it with Crush, right?
Yeah, of course.
Red Rover, send Crush right over.
Even hit with face just so we make it look like we don't got it.
Easy peasy.
There we go.
3-0.
3-0. Gotta have you on the show more often.
Yep.
Well, I'm willing to come back anytime you guys are willing to have me.
Well, I know that you and I will get a chance to hang out at BlizzCon this year.
Oh, yes.
If yeah, I went the whole show without mentioning it one time.
So
I got the card back, but I did not get the bundle right now either. So it wasn't just you.
So, Mageadeath, why don't you, one more time before we close it out, go ahead and pitch your stuff for us one more time.
All right. So I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at twitch.tv/Mageadeath. And then you should also follow me on Twitter. I am at Mageadeath there as well. We play primarily standard ladder, but we do mix in some wild ladder. I try and do a session every month where I call it How Can I Help, in which I do co-op with anybody that wants me to co-op some games with them, or if you have any questions about decks or the meta or crafting or anything like that, anything I can do to help, I try and help out there. Otherwise, I have a free-to-play account, so we play that sometimes, and then every Friday we typically play Arena as well. So you get kind of the gambit of all Hearthstone has to offer. And I love playing the game, and I love talking the game with anybody that likes playing and wants to talk about it. So definitely, please check it out sometime. I would love to see you.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you for coming on the show. It was great having you. And guys, stick around and check out his stream, which will be starting here momentarily.
Yes, I'll be switching over to my stream, and then we're going to do the Tavern Brawl. We'll probably play a little bit of ladder, probably this stack, I'm thinking, and then a little bit later, one of my regulars to the channel has an 80 gold Challenge a Friend quest. I have one as well, so we're going to do some whiz-bang duels.
Nice. All right, gang. That's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions about the deck, send us an email, and we'll pass those along to Mageadeath to get a reply for you. Please hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. And for more details about our patron-only Discord, make sure you check out patreon.com/heropower. Until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.
Adios. Zombies with Rush are OP.